Introduction to spread trading. What is spread trading? Effectively, spread trading is a spread that we put on in relation to a particular product's underlying price. So what I mean by that is GT247.com takes the underlying price and we add shading or commission to either side of it, to either the selling side or the buying side. And what you then have is shading on both the bid, the selling price, and shading on the offer, the buying price. So effectively you've got a bid-offer spread. Now what's quite nice about spread trading is every client upfront knows exactly the commission he or she is being charged, and it is charged upfront. So therefore when a client wants to actually get out of a trade, a commission's not charged again. So what I'm trying to illustrate there is spread trading is extremely transparent. The fact that spread trading is extremely popular worldwide means that if a client is wanting to deal in spread trading, he or she has access to some of the biggest markets in the world, and more importantly some of the most liquid stocks. So there's no additional risk to spread trading. It's very easy to close positions, and therefore you don't have any risk of actually trying to get out. Another big factor is that spread trading is a 24-hour-a-day sort of service. Markets do run 24 hours a day, so it's extremely accessible. In terms of terminology and glossary and what have you, we do have a full glossary in terms of our website in relation to basic concepts, and we've also got that available to you on the platform, which I will illustrate to you a bit later. But getting to the Future Trader platform, you would go to our website, gt247.com. This is our homepage. All you would need to do is actually scroll down to the bottom of the page, and as you can see, we've got several little icons here. First, the client would actually select Java. All our platforms run off Java, so the client would just click on that exact icon where my cursor is now, download Java onto their PC, and once that's run and actually on their PC, they'd be able to come back here and select the Future Trader icon. Once they select that, the Future Trader platform will load on their PC, but one of the big problems is that it doesn't install a shortcut. So should a client wish to install a shortcut on their desktop, all they would have to do is click the Start button, go to Control Panel, select Java, open up Java, then select View, and then you'll see your Future Trader icon listed there. A client would then have to just select the black arrow to install the shortcut, and then once that is selected, they could close up, make sure that they've pressed OK, so all the changes have been made, and then you'd see on the actual desktop your Future Trader icon would be there. Now by double clicking on the icon, Java will run. It will also prompt you to actually select Run, as you can see now, and you would put in your username and password. Important to note as well that this username and password is exactly the same username and password that you would use when accessing the website to view your current details. Now that's getting to the Future Trader platform. Now more importantly, understanding the platform. As you can see, the platform is segmented into these several blocks, and they all do move, meaning you can have customization. The client can put their own preferences to the platform. Just as a rule of thumb, at the top left hand side you've got layout and you've got default layout. That always puts the platform into its normal position, and it's always helpful when someone's calling in and they're trying to explain where they are on the platform, that they are in this current position. Where I'm going to start is the top right hand side, where I'm waving around the product navigator. Now as you can see, we've got products, what's hot and what's new. Now before I get to the products tab, I'm going to click on what's hot, and effectively what you've got listed here are a few instruments on our platform, and you'll notice that there's a star rating assigned to each product. Now the higher the star rating, the higher the amount of volumes of trades that we're actually receiving at gt247.com. So please do illustrate and do stress this, that a client shouldn't use this as an indicator of in terms of trading a particular product. The same goes for the volatility. The volatility is obviously how that instrument is currently fluctuating in the market. And a bull and bear indicator simply means if you get an indicator of a bull, such as the FTSE at the top there, people through our book are currently buying that instrument. And the same goes for the bear, people are currently selling. If there's no clear indication, you'll see that there's a gray, meaning people are currently buying and selling through our book. Again, I'm going to emphasize that this is purely clients of ours trading through our book. It does not warrant the rest of the market. And also very important to note, this is the only area of a time delay, a 15-minute time delay. The rest of the platform is 100% live. We're just gathering data from the last 15 minutes and publishing it. We've got a tab here that's called What's New. We're constantly adding new products to the platform. Remember, this is a futures platform, so effectively there's expiry dates, and we're adding new futures and new products to the platform constantly, so a client can always find them here. Now, in terms of products that we offer, we've got derivatives, okay, meaning that everything is derived from an underlying asset. You never own the underlying asset. So if you buy Brent crude oil, you're not going to get a knock at the door with a couple barrels for delivery. It's all fictitious. It's all price speculation. Okay. Now, if you were to, for example, look at a particular product, all you would do is click on the down arrow. We've got several, and a more popular one is our currency futures. That's exactly just as a trade demonstration I'm going to give you. And for argument's sake, the Euro USD, also very popular. If I wanted to view this in my watch list, I would right-click on it and then double-click. And then effectively what would happen is it would jump into this block that I'm waving around now called my watch list. Okay. Now, a watch list is exactly as it sounds. You've not done anything yet. You're purely viewing the instrument for pricing purposes. And what's important to note as well, as soon as I double-clicked and I've got something in my watch list, you'll notice that your favorite sticker at the bottom of the screen indicates the price, the high of today, the low of today, and the movement of today. So whatever you have in your watch list, your favorite tickers will reflect. As you can see, I've got my Euro USD in my product navigator, or my watch list, excuse me. And let's say I was looking to actually trade this particular instrument. All I would actually do is I would right-click on the instrument and say trade now, place order. You do also have what you call hotkeys here, a simple buy and a sell. Now remember, I did say that spread trading is the difference between the bid price and the offer price. And you can see that at the moment there's a difference of 3 pips or 3 points. Now on this trading platform, you're trading at a rand denomination per point. Very important to remember, and that effectively would be your risk. Okay, so currently we are trading at 1 rand per point. So should the instrument go up in value by 1, you would make 1 rand, or should the instrument move down in value by 1 point, you would lose 1 rand. Now, also very important aspect here, when actually placing a trade, this is your full trading ticket where you can place an order, a break order, or trade right now. Now let's say we've done our homework and we're looking to trade this particular currency pairing, and you're quite happy to buy it. As I did mention, you're able to trade at any rand denomination from 10 cents to 500 rand per point. It does change between instruments and instruments, and also between currency pairing. This is quite an in-depth one. We do take quite a lot of risk in terms of a currency pairing simply because it's very liquid. Okay. You've also got a factor here called price. You've got your market price, which effectively means I want to go into the trade right now, and I'm quite happy to take this particular price. I've also got a mechanism called fill or kill, which basically means, as you can see, the market is currently fluctuating. So if I say to the PC, I would like this particular price on offer right now, but if I'm aware of a time delay, and very important to note that your connection speed is at the bottom right hand side of the screen, if I'm aware of a time delay, I want to fill or kill. So in other words, I believe that there's a 10-second delay between me and GT247.com servers. So I want this current price, and if it's not this particular price in 10 seconds time, forget about it, please don't fill me in. And that's what a fill or kill mechanism does. It's a risk precaution basically. The same goes for limit. Let's say you're out in the Kruger Park, same scenario, you've got a 10-second delay that you're aware of, but now you've got a little bit of leeway, saying, I believe the price currently that's on offer is fair, but I will accept anything above, or should I say below, let's say 1.5958, so effectively 4 pips from where it is now, and that's again a risk precaution in terms of time delay. If you're quite happy with your connection speed, you can just leave it on market, so as soon as you click buy, it will execute. Now this is a very important section here, your risk management. Basically you've got two factors here, your stop loss and your take profit. Now your stop loss, we do offer an auto stop loss. The auto stop loss is generated on the last 2 weeks volatility of that particular instrument. Okay, you've got your minimum, your maximum, and your manual that you can put in as well. You've now got your take profit as well that you can put in place, because obviously when the instrument goes up, you want to capture that upside and you want to make a profit. Now if you were to put in your own take profit, very important to note that it has to be in the same denomination that you're dealing with. So if I look at my trade right now, I'm going in at 1.5951. Let's say I'm looking at a price of 15990. So it gives me a nice 40 pip take profit comfort zone, if I like. Just main importance here is to keep it in the same denomination. Remember that other products such as normal stocks are expressed in cents. Now you've also got the option of a trailing stop, and what a trailing stop does is it basically moves in conjunction with your entry price. Okay, so a stop loss is obviously your fail proof. Okay, but what a trailing stop does is, let's say we buy at this particular price of 15951. Let's say that moves by 10 pips up, so effectively we've made 10 Rand profit. What will automatically happen is your stop loss will move up 10 pips in conjunction, which is fantastic because you're making profit and minimizing your risk. Important to note though, markets fluctuate quite massively, so very important to note that should you use a trailing stop, beware of that volatility because you can get out of a trade sooner than you'd hope for. But again, if I were to put in a trailing stop, I would have to put it in the same exact denomination. Just remember that. And then also we've got what you call a guaranteed stop. Now a guaranteed stop is an insurance premium. I say that because there's a lot of slips and gaps in the market, a lot of slippage, and basically that means that traders worldwide can't offset quick enough. Markets move too fast, and sometimes you won't be able to get out of your recommended stop loss. Now important to note, I did say it was a sort of insurance premium. You can see that the spread difference is now 3, and as soon as I select guaranteed stops, you'll see that that actually shoots out to 17 pips. So it will come at a price, so should you select guaranteed stops, keep that in mind, you will pay your commission. If I'm happy to actually place this trade now, all I would do is select buy. You'll see at the bottom right hand side of the screen it says trade successful. Now, as soon as I've actually placed that trade, what's happened is I've gone into my open transactions here. Okay. What I'm going to do is just blow this up a little bit. We've got our trade ID, we've got our product, our expiry date. Remember this is a future, so effectively on the 13th of December this will basically stop and you will realize a profit or loss. We've bought it at a Rand per point. That was our price. This is where the current price is. We're at a loss of 3 pips, 3 points. And remember, that's the spread difference. That's the upfront commission. As I said, it's very transparent. You're always going to be in a loss initially, but as soon as you close the trade out, it won't charge you another commission. So it's not a basis points working, it's upfront commission in terms of the spread. You've also got your stop loss, the take profit that we set, the margin. Okay, very important, something I didn't mention, margin is the holding deposit in order for you to actually place a trade. We've got our trade date, our guaranteed stop. I didn't select a guaranteed stop. The trailing stop that we did, and then transaction rollover. At any time you can roll over this instrument to the next contract as well. Right, just in terms of our open transactions, I'm just going to put that back. As you can see that we've got our quick chart here as well, effectively displaying everything. Nothing wrong with our quick charts. I will show you in terms of proper charting package just now, but also another tab that we've got is our information bar here, okay, where you've got your messages, you've got sends, and info and errors. Basically, messages, we will contact you should need be through the platform if we can see you are currently trading. Sends stands for Securities Exchange News Service. This is all the information being published through the JSC, a lot of companies publishing results and what have you. Info keeps a track record of exactly what you're doing in the platform, and then any errors happening in the platform is also logged here. Also important to note at the top, you've got your free cash, your net asset value, your profit on open positions, your profit and loss to date, and your current margin. That can all work hand in hand together to give you a nice rolling balance of exactly where you are. However, we do have our full reports, our trade history report, our cash flow reports as well as changing between your two accounts of simulated account and real trading. Most important to note as well that we've got help buttons all over the place. We've got your help in terms of user manuals, but you've also got your help in terms of question marks throughout the platform. So if anything doesn't quite add up, you can just click on these help buttons. Now, as I did say, our proper charting package, and in terms of your technical analysis, all you would have to do is right-click on the instrument and say Show Graph. What will happen now is a completely separate browser will open, and effectively you'll have access to our full charting package. Now, the problem is here a little bit, it does take a while to open, but once it's opened, I do assure you it's quite endless in terms of what you can actually do in terms of adding studies and what have you. Let's just hope it opens here. 1 second.